Winston Churchill once said, "The truth is incontrovertible. Malice may attack it, ignorance may deride it, but in the end, there it is." Today we delve into the emotional courtroom battle between South Africa and Israel. In the International Court of Justice, a case of immense significance and complexity is unfolding. South Africa, a nation with a history steeped in the struggle for human rights, has leveled a serious accusation against Israel. The charge? Genocide. The defendant? A nation that was born from the ashes of the Holocaust, an event that stands as a grim reminder of the horrors of genocide. The irony is not lost on anyone. The case has its roots in the decades-long conflict between Israel and Palestine. South Africa, drawing parallels with its own past, has taken up the mantle for the Palestinian cause, alleging that Israel's actions amount to genocide. The contention hinges largely on the interpretation of the Genocide Convention of 1948, a document that was crafted in the aftermath of World War II to prevent a repeat of such horrendous crimes against humanity. This is not a simple case of right versus wrong, but a complex web of historical events, geopolitical interests, and differing interpretations of international law. Israel vehemently denies the allegations, arguing that its actions are a necessary response to ongoing threats to its national security. Meanwhile, the world watches with bated breath. Every statement, every argument, every piece of evidence presented in the courtroom reverberates around the globe. The case is not just about Israel and South Africa, but about how the world defines and responds to genocide in the 21st century. It's about justice, human rights, and the very essence of international law. As we delve deeper, we'll explore the stances of both South Africa and Israel, and the courtroom drama that has the world on the edge of its seat. The stakes are high, the emotions intense, and the world watches as South Africa and Israel face off in the International Court of Justice. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and leave a comment. We value your thoughts and welcome your engagement. South Africa, a nation that has known the pain of apartheid, accuses Israel of genocide. A grave charge indeed. In the International Court of Justice, South Africa has brought forth a case against Israel, alleging that the Middle Eastern nation has committed genocide. South Africa's argument hinges on the premise that Israel's actions towards Palestinians mirror the atrocities of apartheid that they themselves experienced in the past. They believe that Israel has systematically oppressed and marginalized the Palestinian people, thereby committing acts of genocide. The evidence South Africa presents is multifaceted, drawing from historical events, personal testimonies, and international reports. They point to the displacement of Palestinians, the destruction of homes and livelihoods, as well as the disproportionate use of force by Israel as indicative of a genocidal intent. They argue that these actions are not isolated incidents, but part of a larger, systematic effort to eradicate the Palestinian people. South Africa's stance is heavily influenced by their own history. They understand the pain and suffering that comes with systemic oppression, having endured decades of apartheid. This lived experience fuels their drive for justice and informs their perspective on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. The emotional weight of their argument is palpable, as they draw parallels between their past and the current plight of the Palestinians. Yet South Africa's accusations are not just emotional, they are also grounded in legal terms. They cite the 1948 Genocide Convention, which defines genocide as acts committed with intent to destroy, in whole or in part, a national, ethnic, racial, or religious group. They argue that Israel's actions towards Palestinians fit this definition, thereby constituting genocide. However, it's important to note that accusations of genocide are serious and have far-reaching implications. It's a charge that requires substantial evidence and careful consideration. The burden of proof rests on South Africa, and it's a heavy one to bear. South Africa seeks justice, but the question remains, will they find it? The world watches as the International Court of Justice considers the evidence and prepares to make a ruling on a case that could change the course of history. Scene script. Israel, a nation born amidst conflict, stands accused. Their defense is robust and impassioned. Israel, a beacon of democracy in the Middle East, faces charges of genocide. But they are not standing down without a fight. They have assembled a formidable defense rooted in evidence, historical context, and a deep emotional appeal that resonates with many. Israel's defense begins with a stark reminder of its birth, a nation born out of the ashes of the Holocaust, a people who have known persecution and genocide all too well. This, they argue, is a country that understands the gravity of such accusations more than most. Their argument continues to unravel the complex tapestry of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. They emphasize that their actions have always been in response to aggression, a necessity for their survival in a hostile neighborhood. They present a plethora of evidence showcasing the numerous rocket attacks they have endured, the suicide bombings that have scarred their cities, and the relentless threats they face on a daily basis. As we delve deeper into Israel's defense, we find that they do not shy away from acknowledging the suffering of the Palestinian people. They express empathy, acknowledging the pain, loss, and hardship endured. However, they argue this is a consequence of a long-standing conflict, not a systematic attempt at extermination. Israel's defense is not just rooted in facts and figures, but also in emotion. They share stories of their citizens, men, women and children, who live in constant fear of attack. They speak of their desire for peace, their longing for a time when their children can go to school without fear, when their homes are not potential targets. This emotional appeal is powerful, aimed at humanizing a conflict that can often seem abstract and distant. It's a reminder that behind the politics and the accusations, there are people, families, lives at stake. Israel stands firm, but will their defense hold up against the accusations? Only time and the judgment of the International Court of Justice will tell. In the hallowed halls of the International Court of Justice, the tension is palpable. The world waits with bated breath. This is more than just a courtroom drama. It's a global spectacle, a clash of narratives that could reshape the world's geopolitical landscape. The air is heavy with anticipation and thick with emotion. Each word spoken, each argument made, strikes a chord, resonating throughout the room and beyond. The judges, stern and inscrutable, remain impassive to the emotional hurricane swirling around them. Their duty is clear: to weigh the evidence, to discern the truth, to uphold the principles of international law. But the stakes are high. The verdict they deliver could ripple across the globe, affecting international relations, challenging long-held beliefs, and potentially redefining the concept of justice itself. Whether justice will be served remains to be seen. This case is a reminder that the truth is indeed incontrovertible, and in the end, there it is.